I don't know what Tucker's deal is, but I worry that he might still be under contract and they're literally going to be paying him 10, 20, 30 million a year to just sit there and be quiet. We can't afford to have Tucker Carlson's voice silenced for a year and a half. I don't know if Tucker's listening to this, but if he happens to hear it, I beg you, Tucker Carlson, to speak out, break the terms of that contract. We need your voice over the next year and a half to save our country.
Yeah.
And if you get sued by your former employer, we will help create a defense fund to help you fight that lawsuit. We need your voice. We need every American's voice who cares about this country in the next year and a half to save our Constitution and to save our country.
That is fascinating for so many reasons, and we'll try to get through as many as we can. First of all, it is a little bit of an appealing offer, I think, to Tucker Carlson to set up a Trump-style legal defense fund, which is just a bunch of money that conservatives give you that you don't have to spend on legal defense and you just spend on yachts and stuff. That's nice. Getting like $100 million that's just your money is not bad. I honestly, coming out of that video, I feel bad for conservatives. I do. I'm trying in the new year to be a little bit less hostile towards conservatives because while lots of them are doing a lot of bad things, look at what they have to put up with on a daily basis. Kari Lake there is saying that I guess America is ruined if Tucker Carlson is silenced in terms of not having this particular time slot in this particular network. She knows, as we all do, that Tucker Carlson absolutely despises Donald Trump. She would take a bullet for Donald Trump. She believes the MAGA movement is the most important thing in American history. He says there's no upside to Donald Trump being president, and he was like pining for Biden to take over. So it's all a grift though. So she ignores that in the same way that Trump is ignoring that. We all know it's true, but they're pretending that it's not. She's saying that without his voice to help get Trump elected, the Constitution is at risk. Do I need to remind people that Trump called to suspend the Constitution over his big lie, saying that parts of it need to be terminated, whatever needs to happen for him to stay in office? So again, spare me your concerns for the Constitution. I'm not buying it. Oh, also, there was this graphic 6, the January 6th insurrection. Kind of seems like if your concern is the Constitution, putting into power the guy who led to the insurrection and getting another high profile media position for the guy who pretended that that was just a tourist thing. I kind of feel like maybe you're being a little bit disingenuous, Kari Lake, but what do you think?
Yeah, no, it's if nothing else, Kari Lake is illustrating just how important these pundits that push the propaganda really are. We talk propaganda all the time, just in general, not just us. I mean, like the way people say, oh, that's total propaganda. It seems like it's one of those things that's said and then it's dispelled and people don't follow it any further. Propaganda is real, and these politicians that benefit from it need it. It's the reason why when OAN was gonna get booted off of DirecTV, and then they said, we have to have it. Kevin McCarthy was in front of podiums talking about how we're gonna fight this. We need that propaganda. That's how they operate. That's how they get their message out to their folks, to lie to their folks, to tell them what is it they're doing. Kari Lake went out there and said, break the contract. If you have some kind of NDO, break it. We're gonna help you with the legal funds behind it. It doesn't matter, we need it. She specifically, of course, because she's still fighting about the 2020 results, even more so somehow than Donald Trump is. They need this bullhorn. So once he was off, the people who were most upset about this were the folks who relied on people like Tucker Carlson to push their lies and their narratives so they can continue to control folks. They're just not as good at it. They don't have a team of producers to push all the madness. They invite folks on and they have their exchange of ideas. Lastly though, John, if you get fired, maybe you did something crazy. Maybe you're caught up in some kind of horrific workplace environment. And then you go, yeah, I'm gonna have an issue or going legally. I need you guys to send me $100 million. How much money do you really think you'd get from folks after all the bad news comes out?
I like to think a couple $100. I think I could probably scratch together. What do you think out there? If I was about to be put in jail or something, do you think I could get a couple $100?
All of some provable stuff. Now, if you're the John Iadarola people know and love and they like so much, it still has the halo over his head, and I know better. But still, it's where you guys see John Iadarola, and then he blows up this whole thing. And he's like, I'm gonna fight back. I need your money, bro.
Yeah. Bro. Well, how about in this example? It would be after a bunch of text messages had come out where I was like, man, Bernie Sanders, he sucks. I hate that guy and his stupid hair. And don't even get me started on his birdie. I hate that bird. Anyway, but anyway, she doesn't want him to go. Okay, I get it. That leaves us with a question. Will he fight? According to her, and it seems accurate, he's gonna be paid out the remainder of his contract. He is going to be paid tens of millions of dollars to not even do his easy job anymore. And I know that there are conservatives who think that that's totally justified. I mean, after all, it was a contract, and they have a point. Yeah. I mean, you could say that he has violated the terms of his contract, and maybe they'll say that by producing a hostile work environment and sexually harassing his employees and stuff. We'll see how that shakes out in court because it's probably going to go there. But the idea that he is going to be paid many times more over the next 2 years than you will make in multiple lifetimes for not working. I remember how PO'd you conservatives got when briefly during the pandemic, people got unemployment benefits. Well, Tucker Carlson's about to get some enhanced unemployment. I think it's safe to say. We'll see how angry conservatives get.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.